Welcome back to our weekly market wrap-up. Domestic equity indices saw moderate declines as FII selling and global trade tensions weighed on sentiment. US trade policies, retaliatory tariffs from the EU and Canada, and recession fears in the US kept investors cautious. So stay tuned, and by the end of this video, we'll unpack the key drivers behind these market movements and what lies ahead. This week, Sensex declined by 0.7%, and Nifty 50 fell 0.7%. The mid-cap dropped 2.1%, while the small-cap dropped 3.9%. These declines reflect investor caution amid global uncertainties and profit booking in broader markets. Let's take a look at this week's key economic updates. India's retail inflation fell to a 7-month low of 3.6% in February 2025, down from 4.3% in January, staying below the RBI's 4% target for the first time since August 2024. Meanwhile, industrial output growth rose to 5% in January from 3.2% in December, showing a strong recovery in production activities. Globally, the European Union announced counter-tariffs on Euro 26 billion, $28.3 billion worth of US goods starting in April, responding to President Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Meanwhile, German exports fell 2.5% month-on-month in January, raising concerns over slowing global trade. In China, consumer inflation turned negative for the first time in 13 months, with the CPI dropping 0.7% year-over-year in February, after a 0.5% rise in January, driven by seasonal factors and broader economic challenges. Among this week's top gainers, Chennai Petroleum surged 20.9% due to strong refining margins and positive market sentiment. GOTCNC gained 20%, driven by technical factors and sector outperformance. Data patterns rose 17.5% on strong order inflows and bullish investor sentiment. On the downside, among the losers, we had IndusInd Bank fell 30.8% due to a 1,577 crore forex derivative accounting mismatch, management churn, and RBI scrutiny. FSL dropped 16.2% following an insider trade of 37,813 shares. Solar declined 12.5%, hitting a new 52-week low. In the unlisted space, BlueSmart aims to achieve profitability within the next 5-6 quarters, boosting confidence in the electric mobility sector. Other high-interest unlisted companies include MSCI, NSE, Apollo Green Energy, PharmEasy, CSK, NSDL, and Tata Capital. That wraps up this week's market highlights. Here's what to watch in the week ahead. Next week, global trends will drive market sentiment, with inflation, rate hikes, and geopolitical risks keeping investors cautious. Fresh concerns over Trump's tariffs add to uncertainty, raising fears of trade disputes impacting earnings and growth. India's WPI inflation for February will be released on the 17th of March. In January, wholesale prices rose 2.3% YoY, slightly down from 2.4% in December. China's industrial production and retail sales data for January-February will be released on Monday, the 17th of March. In the US, February retail sales data is set for release on the 17th of March, following a 0.9% month-on-month decline in January. Building permits and housing starts data will be out on the 18th of March. The Federal Reserve's interest rate decision is scheduled for the 19th of March. Existing home sales data for February will follow on the 20th of March, after a 4.9% drop in January. That's all for today. Subscribe to Tikona Capital for more insights and wealth-building opportunities from the themes of the decade. Visit us at tikonacapital.smallcase.com to explore thematic investments in the Amrit Kaal. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next week.